Hello everyone, and welcome to Dark Love Psychology. Have you ever felt a pull towards something precisely because it was just out of reach? A door left slightly ajar, hinting at a world you're not yet invited into? That feeling, that tantalizing curiosity, is not just a fleeting emotion. It's a fundamental law of human desire. Today, we are going to delve into a truth so powerful, yet so often misunderstood in the delicate dance of love and attraction. It's a force that shapes our deepest connections and fuels our most intense longings. We've all heard the simple, almost cliché phrase, "People want what they can't have." But have you ever truly stopped to dissect it? To wonder this is a near-universal constant of the human experience? It's not just a saying, it's a psychological phenomenon rooted deep within our evolutionary wiring. Think about it: the forbidden fruit, the sold-out concert, the limited edition sneaker that commands a line around the block. The value isn't just in the object itself, but in its scarcity, its exclusivity. The very act of being denied access amplifies our desire to possess it. This is the principle of scarcity at play, and it governs our hearts just as much as it governs the marketplace. So, what if I told you that this principle wasn't just a casual observation, but a key, a secret code to unlocking the very heart of human attraction? Society hands us a playbook for romance filled with conventional wisdom. Be persistent, show your interest, prove your worth. But when that playbook fails, when your heartfelt efforts are met with a no, we're left feeling lost and dejected. This is where the hidden chapter comes in. The knowledge we're about to explore is the key to understanding that a no is not always a final verdict. Often, it's an unconscious test, a barrier that, when navigated correctly, can transform indifference into fascination. This isn't about learning a few clever lines, it's about understanding the language of the subconscious mind. This deep psychological truth is the foundation for turning that initial rejection into the most powerful yes you have ever heard. It's about understanding the hidden currents that guide our hearts, the invisible forces that dictate attraction. In the world of love, we are often taught to pursue, to chase, to convince someone of our value. We send the extra text, we plan the grand gesture, we lay our feelings bare, hoping our vulnerability will be rewarded. But what is the result? More often than not, this behavior communicates neediness. It lowers our perceived value and pushes the other person away. It's like trying to catch a butterfly with a net. The more frantically you swing, the faster it flutters away. This approach, born from good intentions, often leads to a cycle of disappointment and frustration. Today, we are going to flip that script entirely. We're going to explore a different path, a more subtle, more elegant, and infinitely more powerful way of navigating desire. This path isn't about chasing someone down. It's about becoming the destination they can't help but journey towards. It's about creating an irresistible pull, an invisible magnetic field that draws them to you, even, and especially, after they have initially pushed you away. This journey is about the fascinating and often misunderstood art of reverse psychology. At its core is a psychological principle called reactance. Humans have an innate, powerful drive to protect their freedom of choice. When we feel that someone is trying to persuade us or pressure us into a decision, even a decision to like them, our automatic response is to resist, to pull back, to reassert our autonomy by doing the opposite. By understanding this, you can stop fighting against this fundamental human instinct and start working it. You will learn how to use rejection not as a painful end, but as a strategic beginning. We will dive deep into a technique I call forbidden framing. This is where you take their no, and instead of fighting it, you agree with it, perhaps even amplifying it. You transform their rejection into a burning question in their mind. For example, instead of pleading your case, you might respond with something like, "You're right, we probably wouldn't work. I think I'm a bit too intense for you anyway." Suddenly, the dynamic shifts. You've taken away the pressure, restored their sense of freedom, and planted a powerful seed of curiosity they simply cannot ignore. This triggers what psychologists call the Zeigarnik effect. Our minds are wired to obsess over incomplete tasks and unresolved questions. Your calm acceptance of the no creates an open loop in their mind. They will start to wonder, what did they mean by that? Too intense how? What am I missing out on? You've turned yourself from an open book into a mysterious locked box, and they'll find themselves desperately wanting to find the key. Now, let me be clear. This is not about manipulation or playing cruel games. This is a profound understanding of human nature. applied with integrity and respect. It's about empowering yourself to navigate the complexities of attraction from a position of strength and high value, not desperation. By the end of our time together today, you will possess a completely new lens through which to view attraction and rejection. You will learn the subtle shifts in your language, the powerful adjustments in your mindset, and the strategic changes in your actions that can make someone who rejected you want you more than ever before. You will learn how to step back, allowing them the space to experience your absence. You'll discover how to focus on your own life in a way that makes you genuinely more attractive and compelling. The ultimate goal is to make them feel that pursuing you is their own brilliant idea, a conclusion they reached all on their own. We are going to show you how to turn that painful moment of rejection into the very catalyst that ignites an unshakable desire. So get ready. Prepare to challenge everything you thought you knew. Get ready to transform the way you think about love forever. Chapter 1: The Forbidden Fruit Effect. Our story begins not in a book, but deep within the code of human psychology. We're about to delve into one of the most primal and powerful triggers of human desire. It's a force that has shaped myths, driven history, and quietly influences your choices every single day. It's called the forbidden fruit effect. At its core, this principle reveals a simple but profound truth. Our minds are hardwired to crave what we cannot have. Humans are inherently, almost magnetically, drawn to what is restricted, prohibited, or just out of reach. Think of a velvet rope at a club, a classified stamp on a file, or a story whispered with the preface, "Don't tell anyone." The moment something is labeled off-limits, its value skyrockets in our minds. But here's the crucial part. This surge in perceived value often has nothing to do with the object's intrinsic qualities. A bottle of wine is just wine, until it's the last one in the cellar. Its desirability isn't in the taste, but in the restriction. The barrier itself becomes the source of attraction. To understand this, think back to your childhood. Picture a room in your memory. Were you ever told by a parent with a stern look not to touch a specific ornate vase on the mantelpiece? Or warned never to open that one particular drawer in an old desk? Before that moment, the vase was just decoration. The drawer just furniture. But after the command, what was the very first thing you wanted to do? The object began to glow with a mysterious new importance. Your mind raced with questions, painting vivid pictures of what could be inside. Why is it forbidden? What secret does it hold? What makes it so special? The prohibition didn't just spark curiosity, it created a mystery your mind felt compelled to solve. This powerful impulse isn't a simple sign of rebellion or a character flaw. It's a well-documented, natural human response called psychological reactance. First identified by psychologist Jack Bream, reactance is our brain's internal alarm system for threats to our freedom. When we perceive that our ability to choose is being taken away, we feel an innate, subconscious urge to reassert that freedom. It's a defense mechanism for our autonomy. The desire to grab the forbidden object isn't just about wanting the object itself. It's about proving to ourselves that we are still in control, that we are the authors of our own actions. The act becomes a declaration of personal liberty. Now, let's see how this plays out in the complex world of attraction. Imagine you're on a date, and the person says, "You're great, but I'm not really looking to date right now." The typical response is to panic, to ask why, to try and persuade them. This approach instantly fails because it confirms their power and puts you in a position of neediness. Instead, you can leverage the forbidden fruit effect. You pause, nod calmly, and respond with relaxed confidence. "That's totally fine. I respect that. To be honest, after chatting, I'm not sure we'd be a good match long-term anyway." In that moment, the script flips. The power dynamic shifts. Instead of her rejecting you, you're the one subtly creating distance. You have just become the forbidden fruit. Her mind, which was secure in its decision, is now forced to ask new questions. Wait, why wouldn't we be a good match? What did I miss? Instead of you chasing her, she now feels a pull to close the distance you've created. You are no longer just an option. You are a prize that seems slightly out of reach, and that triggers desire. Chapter 2: Psychological Reactance. Have you ever noticed that the moment someone tells you to do something, a part of your brain wants to do exactly that? A wet paint sign becomes an invitation. A do not press button, a challenge. This isn't just you being contrary, It's a predictable human response. Reverse psychology works because it taps into this powerful principle: psychological reactance. First identified by psychologist Jack Brain, psychological reactance is our brain's alarm system against coercion. When we feel our freedom of choice is limited, we experience an immediate subconscious motivation to re-establish that freedom. It's a primal instinct tied to our need for autonomy. The stronger the pressure, the more important the freedom feels, and the more fiercely we will push back to protect it. This is why saying, "Don't worry, you don't have to call me," can be so effective. A needy message like, "Why haven't you called?" applies pressure, triggering reactance and making them pull away. But by giving them an out, you remove the threat. The internal script shifts from them defying your expectation to them exercising their own free will. It shifts the dynamic from you chasing them to them proving their independence, often by choosing to connect with you. Let's apply this to a high-stakes scenario. Someone says, "I'm not ready for a relationship." The instinctive response is to apply pressure, to argue or plead. This is the emotional equivalent of cornering them. All it does is validate their decision to pull away, because you are now threatening their freedom to choose. Instead, align with their freedom. Reply with, "I completely get that, and thank you for being honest. The last thing I would ever want is for you to feel pressured into anything." In that moment, you transform from an obstacle into an ally. You're not just removing pressure, you are validating their autonomy. And ironically, that's often what makes them rethink their position. By giving them the space to leave, you make them question if they actually want to. The fight is over before it even started. They expected resistance, but you gave them respect. This creates a powerful sense of safety and admiration. This works wonders in modern communication. Instead of worrying why they haven't texted back, get ahead of it. Send a lighthearted text. "Hey, I know life gets crazy busy. Don't ever worry about getting back to me right away. Just handle your stuff." You are generously giving them the space they might have been afraid to ask for. This does two things. First, it makes them respect you for being so understanding. Second, it demonstrates high value. This lack of neediness is incredibly alluring. It signals that your happiness isn't dependent on their reply, making interaction with you feel like a choice, not a chore. Ultimately, reactance teaches us a profound lesson. People don't want to be controlled, they want to feel respected and free. By working with this need for autonomy, you stop creating resistance and start building rapport. And when people feel free to choose, they are far more likely to choose you. Chapter 3. The Scarcity Trigger. Scarcity makes people value things more, whether it's limited edition sneakers, sold-out concert tickets, or your time and attention. When you show you're not always available, you stop being ordinary and start being valuable. Let's say someone cancels a date. Instead of begging to reschedule, you say, "No problem, I've got a pretty packed week anyway." Now you're signaling that your time is scarce. This subtle forbidden framing makes them see you as someone with options. And options are attractive. It is in the spaces between your interactions, in the moments of silence, that attraction has room to grow. Your absence gives them mental space to think about you, to wonder what you're doing, to replay your last conversation. This is where desire is incubated. Chapter 4. Shifting the power dynamic. The reason most people fail at reverse psychology is they still act from a place of wanting approval. But the real magic happens when you flip the script, when you make them feel like they're trying to win your attention. Instead of asking, "Do you want to hang out this weekend?" try, "I might be free Saturday, if I don't end up needing that time for myself." You're positioning your presence as something they have to earn. Suddenly they're thinking, "What do I need to do to be part of his world?" Chapter 5. The Reverse Invitation. One of the most effective ways to use forbidden framing is the reverse invitation, making them feel like they're the one seeking you even when the idea was yours. Instead of saying, "We should go out sometime," you might say, "Most people I hang out with don't usually like that restaurant, but maybe you're different." This plants a psychological challenge. They want to prove they're different, which increases the chance they'll accept the invitation and feel like it was their choice. Chapter 6. Walking away increases value. Sometimes the most powerful no isn't verbal, it's behavioral. When you're willing to walk away, you instantly become more desirable. Why? Because it shows self-respect and abundance. People subconsciously chase what's slipping away. If someone ghosts you, don't double text. Simply move on and let silence speak. Often, they'll return, not because you begged, but because your lack of reaction increased your perceived value. Chapter 7. Use reverse psychology responsibly. Reverse psychology is powerful, but it should never be used to manipulate or harm. The goal is not to trick someone into liking you, but to present yourself as a confident, high-value person who doesn't need to chase. When used with authenticity and respect, forbidden framing creates deeper attraction because it's rooted in genuine self-worth. Attraction isn't about convincing someone, it's about inviting them into your world without pressure. By using reverse psychology wisely, you flip the script. Rejection becomes curiosity, and no becomes the start of desire. Remember, people don't fall for who chases the hardest. They fall for the one who seems just beyond their reach. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might benefit, and don't forget to subscribe to Dark Love Psychology for more insights and tips to help you succeed. Thanks for watching until the end. See you in the next video.